Hello, I'm Jeff Richards. I'm the head of training program development for Sage CRM. If you're implementing Sage CRM, then you will want to get the best from your investment. And we believe very strongly that Sage CRM isn't just about software, it's about you, it's about all of the users who use it and the attitude and culture of the business that has implemented Sage CRM. We know that well-trained, knowledgeable staff are key to getting the most from a successful Sage CRM implementation. And I'm going to make the assumption here that you're a customer and that you've been working with a partner who has made sure that you and your key staff have been trained and equipped to teach others how to get the best out of Sage CRM. Now, there are many good things about instructor-led classroom live training. That's essentially how I started all of my work, and I know that it really can deliver extraordinary results within an organization if it's well-designed program. But one of the downsides um, of instructor-led training is that memory can rapidly fade, so that the lessons learned within the training session can be forgotten, and both knowledge about Sage CRM capabilities and how best to use the system can be lost. If only there was a free source of short-form education available whenever it was needed. Well, I may a solution for that. Now, we acknowledge that there are more kinds of learner than ever before. There are people who want to learn part-time, full-time, people who are used to working with distance learning and with online learning as well. And during lockdown, we've probably got used to the idea of consuming information remotely online. And so to support users who love learning, we've got an e-learning platform that has everything you need to know about Sage CRM. And this e-learning platform allows anytime, anywhere access to a wide variety of content, which we've broken up and stretched across 4 streams. So this is technical, which is really about the use of the system, administration of the system, then support, which is a little bit more technical, focused on helping people understand what's going on inside the system, developer, exactly what it says on the tin, and the sales stream, which is really aimed at partners, but we don't make anything secret within Sage. You'd be able to see exactly how we present Sage CRM. So that some of the sales things might be of interest to you as a stakeholder within a Sage CRM implementation, to understand the proposition that we think that it makes into general businesses. Now, in a moment, I'm going to explore just one of those streams. But before I do, I want to share really a few thoughts about how Sage CRM e-learning should be part of the mix for your users' education, and how it can play a role in ensuring the success and continuing success of your implementation. Now, the first thing that I'd say is that training doesn't start and end in the classroom. If you're planning implementation training, then I suggest that you actually give your users plenty of notice about the upcoming training. They should have a sense of what's coming. So you should share information about Sage CRM and the fact that there's some instructor-led training that's going to be provided to support the rollout of the system. A really good tip is to send everyone links to the e-learning videos that show CRM in action, so that the new product that they're going to be using doesn't come as a shock. And you can design learning packages around the roles of users, because they're all hosted, all the videos, although they might be presented on the Sage CRM community, they're actually hosted within the Sage customer support and training YouTube channel. So you can get the links and then send out the links to the videos that will remind the students about those features. And you can do this to support the once the classroom training has finished as well. Now, you can use e-learning materials to ensure your users and system administrators learn what they want to learn, because nobody likes being stuck in a training session they are being talked about features that don't seem to be related to their day-to-day job. You can turn people off learning by presenting them with too much information. Most people want to know how to make their lives easier and to make their work more enjoyable and less hassle. Adults learn best when they want to learn and can see that the information that they're being given is directly relevant to their lives. A third thing that I'd suggest is that e-learning is explicit about the core skills that users learn. All of e-learning is broken up into small sections. So small sections like workflow or about email customization or system configuration or data administration. And each of the videos is short, and then within the overall area is broken into a single topic. So learners will know what they have learned. And you can think about how you're going to measure what they've learned as well. There are exams associated with each of the streams that are free and can be used by anyone to measure their own product knowledge. Another thing about learning generally for adults is that training sessions should be as short as possible. Now, you want to allow your users to apply their new skills as soon as possible. So I would encourage users to access e-learning during the morning or in their lunchtime, for example, so that they can then use those skills in the afternoon. If learners have a chance to immediately use a practical skill and gain experience, and so training should be as close as possible to usage of that skill, then it allows those new skills to be reinforced and embedded. And e-learning can build on your users' existing skills and knowledge. So for example, if your company has been using Sage CRM for a little while, then it's a good idea to find out as much as possible about your users' breadth of knowledge about using CRM. You can encourage your users and especially system administrators to take some of the exams. These are a great way of checking what they know about the system and what additional learning they may need or want to undertake. Now, some people like to be shown how to do something and they find it easier to understand a new feature by seeing it work. Other people like to be given spoken instructions because it matches up with the prompts that they see on the screen, and others only learn when their hands are on the keyboard working. E-learning supports all of those mechanisms for a user to learn. And so what is our e-learning like? Well, we've grouped over 200 videos in themes to create a set of flexible online courses that allow anyone to learn whenever they like. And you can use these recorded lessons to help you get the skills you need to be a confident user or a system administrator. And you can, if you're involved in talking with your partner about extending CRM, you get a sense of what the development skills are as well. And you can choose a stream to get started, and depending on a user's role, they can choose to specialize in a particular area. The technical stream is aimed at equipping system administrators with the core knowledge for the installation and configuration of a system. The support stream is for those who need to support their own organization or need to interact with the partners in the use of Sage CRM. The developer stream is if you have in-house IT consultants who want to customize and extend Sage CRM. And the sales and marketing stream is really about equipping people to so that they understand the benefits of CRM when integrated with an accounting solution. I'm just going to focus on the technical track, and you probably know that it's easy to start using Sage CRM. The screens are well laid out, and anyone can do just a little bit of experimental clicking to find out how to add new data, search for data, to record tasks and merge letters and documents, and even to send emails. But consider the following. Choices have to be made as you install or reinstall or upgrade a product. Users' rights and security have to be set up. Somebody's got to do that. The system administrator has to do that. Workflow that people are going to follow when they're recording sales opportunities or a customer service request, that has to be designed. New fields, screens, lists, they may need to be added to the system, which is required to look right on both a desktop and a mobile device. And users need to know how to create email templates and documents that can be used for creating PDFs for quotes and orders. And of course, much that needs to be done is just a simple click or a choice in a drop-down box. But Sage CRM is a very large system, a very, very large system, and the range of tasks that can be done and actually may need to be done can be daunting. And it's one thing to know how to send an email, but it's another thing to actually work your way through and design a marketing campaign. So if you work with Sage CRM, then its range of features and its very configurable interface can present a steep learning curve. But as a customer, it's your system, and you should set yourself an ambition to become an expert in Sage CRM. There are, of course, detailed classroom and web-based courses run by each of the Sage teams around the world. But if your training was 9 months ago, are you still going to remember how to implement a conditional workflow rule? Or would you be sure whether you know how to configure a list gadget within the interactive dashboard? And do you know what the difference between getting static and using a static or a dynamic group is? The e-learning platform within the community allows you to access all the training for free. You can revise any of the topics that you need to know about as a customer. You can check the documentation, you can watch the videos whenever you want. It covers everything from adding an address to configuring the web services, and this is a complete syllabus. And we've broken this up in the technical area into 10 different modules. Each module has several distinct topics which cover a separate idea, concept, or feature. So for example, just within the workflow module, you can study topics about escalations, notifications, the types of the rules, and everything is supported by videos as you go through the learning. So do have a look at this. It's available anytime, anywhere. It allows you to take part in training and your users to take part in training at their own pace, their own convenience. This Sage CRM e-learning is available free to everyone. Do have a look at that. Please join in the other sessions on the summit. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm going to see you in and around the summit. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.